All right, so let me clear my desktop off here or my dashboard, and I'm going to play some of those. I'm going to do some of the practice holes and see how that works. I played a couple of them yesterday, and I filmed it, and then I accidentally erased it. I came back. I was going to tie the two together, merge the two together, and I accidentally screwed it up. I was playing some Tour 2 with my buddy Dale Appleby. What's funny is that if we'd have read the stuff that came out, we would have known. It seems like now if you want to play holes that are in the tournament, you have to get into the practice thing. You won't get them because I don't think we played for like an hour and a half, and I don't think we got a single hole that was a tournament hole in Tour 2, and both of those courses are in the tournament. It seems like we would have got one. Junglist rock down in one. I know I want my rock up, but the deal is I'm trying to eliminate this down in oneer. And it comes up all the time. So I've just committed here a couple weeks ago that I'm going to just get rid of this card. I'm getting down to those rares. I'd rather get, there are several rares that I would like to get cards for. The rock, the grizzly, the thorn. I mean, I'm down to the point where pretty much every other one, I don't use my razor, but I'm sure it'll be the next one that starts coming up. And my Houdini's still at level 7. I hardly ever get Houdini cards for whatever reason. So let's go in and let's check out this practice. So inner practice. Played the first 2 holes. Hole number 1, we absolutely have to get an eagle. I mean, there's just no 2 ways around it. Scorecard. So I got the eagle on hole number 2, or hole number 1, and then on hole number 2, that par 3, I got a birdie. So now we're on a par 5. So what we're on is, what are we on? Let's check this out. Let's go find it. See what amazing things that I have on here. Got tons of different stuff going on. So what are we at? We're at Santa Ventura. Do I have one for Santa Ventura? No. We'll change this one around. Golf Clash Notebook. Courses. Santa Ventura. Hole number 9. Here we roll. All right, this hole right here. Really, if you're going for it on this hole, so you have several options. So you're trying to get down into this area. So you have to make a commitment. And your commitment is that you're either going to hit to the fairway up here, and the bigger the ball that you bring, if you come up here with a marlin, and you've got a QB or a rock, any driver will actually do, but an extra mile is, even though it's got more distance, the curl is really important here to get you, because you're going out like this, and you're trying to cover this swing, and so you want curl, and you don't need the distance. Like you can do this with a QB or a rock, either one, and get up here. And with a marlin, you've got a max sniper. I mean, it's almost better if you play regularly with a guardian or a big dog. You can get up there. So if you bring a bigger power ball, which why wouldn't you in a tournament? That's why we save our bigger balls for tournaments. At least the Titan, at least the King of Balls, and you're up in this area right here, then it's a difficult shot to get on, but it's not like out. You just have to set it up right. So that's commitment area number 1. Commitment area number 2 is to try and get over to this fairway. And in my opinion, if you can get all the way to the front, you've got a great dunk. There's actually a lane between these trees. There's a tree right there and a tree right there. There's a lane out here, and that's the spot. It's hard to do from out here. So for me, I'm going to commit to coming over to this side. Now, what are the risks? So the risks here are that I could get caught up in the rough. Now, if you've got a Nirvana and you're at least halfway through that rough, your shot is actually, in my opinion, easier to get on from the rough right here with the Nirvana coming at it, because your angle's better around those trees than it is when you lay up back here because now you have to get more around the trees. Whereas when you're here, you've got an almost a straight line. So I don't mind being in the rough. A lot of times you'll find yourself, especially if you're not using a big enough side spin ball, you'll find yourself in the rough over on this side right here, where if you look to the left, hell, you were out this far. And so if you would have had more curl or more side spin, you could have caught this area, and it's big. But the key here is that you have to get your first bounce on this side. And here's the angle thing. The farther down you get, so if you want to get as far down into this as you possibly can, here's the rough. If you want to get as far down into that as you possibly can, and your ball guide's going out like this, then you've got to cover this swing in order to get yourself there. And so if you don't bring a big enough side spin and a big enough curl club, it's hard to get out there. So with an extra mile, what'll happen is that if you bring out a bigger power ball, like a 4-power ball, so you can get further down in the hole, you'll find yourself, if you've got a lower developed extra mile, like not a maxed out extra mile, like level 8, or if you've got a level 7 or below, you're not going to have the curl to bring it around. So a 3-power ball actually works better for you, because here's the shortest, let me erase that line. Here's the shortest distance through this. So if you can land right here on this trajectory, you're making the angle shorter to get over, plus you're catching it at a wider spot. So if you get one bounce here, your goal is to bridge the gap and get your second bounce over here so that you can run up the fairway. If you clip the rough, you're going to end up out in this area right here, and you've got a much better shot here than you do from back here. But you may find yourself in the rough quite a bit. They came out with a ball when this hole first came out. Let's see if I still have some of those balls. Let's go pick some clubs. If you're committing to go over to the other side, it really is a commitment. It really could go either way. It could go Apocalypse, or it could go extra mile. The Apocalypse has got more curl, but I think I can catch this with my extra mile and the right ball. But I want to make sure that I bring, I think maybe this bag, I want to bring all of my backspin stuff. So I'm going to bring a Grim Reaper because it's got 100% backspin. And it's 60 accurate, so it's 1.8 per ring. Let me see if I got my cheat sheet here. I made a new cheat sheet because I've got some clubs that have gotten up, so I've got my Grim Reaper at 1.9, is that right? That'd be 1.8. But I think the way that I wrote these numbers down off of Golf Clash Notebook, not doing the math myself, and I'm trying to play off their numbers because I know a lot of people watch their numbers, and these clubs have changed for me, and I'm not liking how they're playing. So I'm going to try that number out. If I don't like it, I'll change it. Grim Reaper. Let's actually pick it. That would probably be helpful. What's cool about some of these lower level epics is they buffed all the clubs before the club card trading came out, and they made a lot of these lower level clubs. They tweaked them just enough that they made them extremely good clubs when you're down low, but they're also really good when you get when you start getting those Tour 3 up to Tour 3 epics up in levels, they become really good. Those clubs on the bottom will work fine. Now if I can get over, the best that I'm going to have is a long iron shot. And I definitely want to play with a sand wedge and a rough iron that give me max distance. I'm going to play this with a Brazil ball. I think I have some of those. We'll see which way the wind's blowing. That'll tell us what we can do here. Hold on, let me pick a ball. I was going to do that and I forgot. I was daydreaming. This new stuff on here, I looked in the spot and didn't see it. These balls right here, the Wales balls, these came out for the World Cup. And they're power 3 balls. They're 3 side spin, but they're 2 in. So the deal is that right on this particular shot, you want to actually, if you can, now if you got headwind, you can go with a Kingmaker, but if you've got any kind of forward moving wind, you're going to try and use as much of that wind as you can, all of it. And so having the wind 2 of a Titan, but having 3 side spin of a Kingmaker helps you get your extra mile around the bend. So I'm going to try, I probably have another one of those. I'm going to try a Brazil. I brought those Brazil balls because during the World Cup, every country you could buy balls for whatever country. Most people bought USA balls that lived in the USA, but I bought some of the ones that were odd just because you pull them out and people don't know. Like, when the hell did that ball come out? Let's see, a power 4 ball. Three side spin, 1 wind. That one would work if I pulled out a power 4 ball, but I'm going to try this ball right here. The 3 side spin is the thing. Now, if we have a headwind, I want to switch to a Kingmaker. I bought these balls just for this hole. They came out and they were perfect for this hole because we were using the wind. Every time we've ever had it in a tournament in the past, the wind has been in a favorable position. We have a 3-7 headwind here, so I'll have to bring out a power 4 ball. But even in the rough up there, I would rather take that shot. The problem is if you bring out a power 0 ball, you can't get over the trees. I got an extra mile 9 and a Titan. They're going to try it. They're going to go for it. I would put all the curl on that. Go back and draw the line on the angles. I mean, I think that they are going to hit, and then they're going to end up in the rough, and then look to the left, and there's fairway. And they almost made it to the end. I want to be out here as far as I can possibly get so that I can try and straighten that. So the curls, I don't need as much curl. Just 2/8. I'm going to do like a ring and a half. Just taking the side spin, just adjusting for the side spin. Hit a 1 ring grate on the inside, 1 ring grate to the left. Not quite enough ball against that headwind. If we'd had any tailwind, I should have brought out a power 4 ball there, but it looked like I could make it. With headwind, you definitely have to adjust your ball. And the deal is that with the ball's going to hit farther. Just because it hits far, a power 4 is going to hit farther than a power 3, so you're going to have to go farther down. You're going to have to bring that shot when you set it up. You're going to have to go more to the right up there at the top in order to allow for the extra distance. And the more you go to the right, the more curl you need to have, or the more you're going to need to bring it around. So if you have an APOC 5 in your bag, that might be even a 4. That might be a shot. I'm not sure if a 4 has enough top spin. And we got a little bit of a headwind, so I'm going to give myself a little bit of room so I can adjust out the wind. Two, 3. And a max club. There's 2. I'm going to do just a little bit more. Hitting it perfect. just laying myself up on the green and not trying to get greedy. If I'd have been out in the fairway, I would have been using my Guardian, and I could have got really aggressive to the hole because I could use backspin. It's hard to come at this hole. But since I wasn't in the fairway, the whole deal is go get your eagle and go to the next hole. You have to shoot minimum score. I mean, and it's even more so now than before. You can never drop a shot, never drop a hole. Like, you can miss the shot where you're trying to get the hole-in-one or you're trying to get the eagle, but you can never end up with a par on a hole. Or a birdie on a par 5. Although there are a couple par 5s in the game that are birdie holes with an eagle opportunity, you still need to get an eagle on every par 5. No match perks. Too bad I can't replay them. I will do that later. Let's go back in and let's get to the next hole. I'll play the rest of these holes out, or I'll play for an hour. We'll see how far we can get. What hole is this? This is hole number 4 is Santa Ventura, hole number 4. I like the holes that are in this tournament. All right, there's a bunch of different ways to play this, and I'm actually, the last time we had this in a tournament, I really wanted to switch to my Grim Reaper because it's got 100% backspin, and I think it has a little teeny bit better ball guide than my Saturn. But I normally take the backspin shot with the Saturn, and that's the only shot I'm gonna. There is a bounce over this sand, and that shot is, if you can hit that shot, it is right there, but it is scary dangerous. If you hit perfect a lot, that might be the shot for you. I'll take a Kingmaker, and I'm going to take a Grim Reaper. Now let's compare the Grim Reaper to the Saturn as far as ball guide. Grim Reaper's got just a little bit less ball guide than the Saturn, and we need that much backspin, and there isn't anything else with that much backspin. Maybe a Tsunami when it gets up, but its ball guide blows. So I'm going to take a Grim Reaper, and that's at 1 point. Golf Clash Notebook has it at 1.9 per ring, and I think I'm going to try and play by their numbers. Let's see what the deal is on clubs. Grim Reaper, long iron. Grim Reaper, we're using a power 3 ball, and we are at max club, and the club level is 6, 1.8 per ring. All right, that's what we're going to play it at, 1.8. And I'm pretty sure I was doing like a 5% adjustment. So let me pull out my calculator. My trusty dusty calculator. Now, I could use the app, but I like a calculator. It keeps your brain working. So it's 1.05 times whatever the wind is divided by 1.8. That's what I'm taking. Now, the last few times we've played this, we've had a headwind. And so the first time we played it where I was shooting the backspin shot, we had tailwind, and I was able to use a katana. But the last couple tournaments that it's been in, last 2 or 3, we've been getting headwind, and there's not enough room to work the wind out with the katana, so I bumped it up to a Kingmaker. But if we have tailwind here, I could actually drop down a ball. But I probably won't. Might be me. It is me. Oh, I used a token. I played this in pro. You just need a bigger ball. I'm going to bring it tight. The king of balls. Let's see if we can get that up there with an extra mile. There's one. There's two. Then I'm going to adjust for the wind. And see if I can catch the fairway. And I needed to come in probably 3 whole rings to try and skirt through on that side. I think I could get up there in one pretty damn close. You can see where I'm at. If I'd have stayed in the fairway, I hit on the fairway way up high. So I had plenty of room below me. So I mean, I could bring it in from that spot. If you go back and rewind the video, you can look at that spot. You could bring it in probably. I would probably over adjust it the first time. And I'd find a spot, because like right now I have no idea where I was aiming. I was just like, it looked like it would catch the fairway. And go pick a spot out there and then adjust the wind out and move it in. I'd move it in 3 rings. What I want to do is find out how if I move it in, where is it too far? Then it gives you the range. And you can play the clock game. Where am I at in my club? Max, mid. Man, I'm in that range I don't like. I'm in about 6 per ring. And it's 6-3. There's 6. And a little. Oh, that was about a mile off. I'd rather end up on the fringe. Yes. I don't like taking putts if I can help it. I especially don't like long putts. I'm not the best putter in the game. Which is amazing. It used to piss me off really bad when I was going for max trophies, because I'd get up in the morning and I'd still be like half awake, and I'd be playing $1 million matches or $3 million matches, and I'd miss a putt. I'd be up. All I had to do was make the putt, and we wouldn't even go to a shootout, and I'd miss the putt, go to a shootout, and then lose because I missed the putt. I didn't lose all the time, but I missed at least 1 putt a day, and it totally pissed me off. In the hole. Nice shot. Nice shot. That's definitely an eagle hole. Gotta get an eagle. Good luck. That is not what I wanted to play. I wanted to play hole 4, par 3. Let's go play the hole that I really wanted to play. I don't like that system because you're gonna end up finding people burning practice, and I've already burned one, so I'm gonna have to make up for that one in order to play hole number 9. What kind of crap is that? If I can get matched up. All right, I have no idea where to set this. There's max club, and we've got a tailwind, so I could switch to a katana. I'm gonna switch to a katana. I'm right at max club. Let's put on all of the backspin, and let's see where we can get. Okay, right there on that corner. It's 1.8. It's 4.5 equals divided by 1.8 is 2.62 rings. I'm going to run out of time. And I hit it one ring great to the right. And see if it has as much pullback as the Saturn. It did not. Have to set that shot up a little bit farther back. I want to try and stay away from this front where it curls up here. The flat is on the putting surface, but when you get on the fringe, it immediately starts going downhill. And I want to stay as far away from that as I can. Now, this shot right here is money if you can catch it. If you can make a great wind adjustment, because what you don't want to have happen here, and you don't want to hit this straight to the left or the right, because it can impact that second bounce on the hill a little bit different. I'm kind of disappointed that they took the holes out of regular play, and now you have to pay to practice on those holes. I mean, it was bad enough before that they made it so that it was more difficult to get the holes you were looking for, but now we can't get the holes at all. We have to pay for them. All right, what hole are we on? We're on hole number 5. Let's leave it right there. Hole number 5. And hole number 5 is Santa Ventura. Let's go back a few. Santa Ventura, and it is hole number 8. Hole number 8. I don't remember these holes at all. I'll tell you what I really want to do is I want to come out here and smash it. There is a max overpower hook shot you can do on this that you can get over to the other side, but I just want to see if I can just get over to the other side. Like, I know with a QB and a quarterback or a kingmaker, your red line is like right in this area right here. I mean, right down there. So if you have an extra mile with the extra distance and a 3 power ball, I think you get your first bounce here and you get your second bounce on the other side. And then you'd be long iron range, and well, you're probably long iron range from up here. You'd be short iron range. Now we're talking money. Especially, this might be a hole to bring out a thorn. Probably work better. Let's try and get into that area and we'll bring a thorn. I hardly ever play with my thorn. Now I'll have to go through that thing again. Let me see if I can remember not to, what would I take here? Extra mile. That stuff's not going to matter. I'm just going to switch this up for a thorn. I'm going to leave all my backspin stuff in there. What does my thorn hit? 1.9, same as my Saturn. I'm going to take a kingmaker. Let's see if we can get around that bend. I could pop out a power 4 ball. That's 4 side spin. I'm not sure I'll need 4 side spin. That's a power 5. I know the Megalodon's a power 5. I think this one might be a power 4. The season 23 ball, that's the one. So if this kingmaker doesn't cut it, it's the season 23 ball. Practice hole 5. There we go. Now that I've burned one of my I don't even know how you can get those. I'll have to look in the store. See if they're available. Still checking out all of the new changes or what they've done. Play seems to be the same. If I can get an opponent. If. Crazy is crazy does. I Let's see how they're going to go on it. They've got an Apocalypse and a Quasar. They're trying to get over to the other side. If you bring out a big enough power ball based on that right there, you might not have to use any overpower at all. And they're using the wind. Hitting it perfect. El Perfecto. Nice bounce. A little in the rough. A little in the rough. Let's see what we can do with a power 3 ball. I'm going to let the wind push me into the fatter part of that fairway. Hit it 2 rings on the inside. And I think I might have enough room for this bounce. That's whether or not I can get... Man, that would have rolled off the top if I'd have been in the fairway. There was too much topspin. It'd have been close. It'd have been way off the other side. It might have been in the drink. That would be bad. That would be real bad. It's kind of fun to just be able to pop off some bigger stuff and just go for some shots on this. Because usually in one-on-one, I play it totally different. I play it to the left. I just lay it up out there with my rock. And I either curl it around the trees with my sniper or go straight at it with my sniper. It just depends on where I'm at. Chip in to win. There's max. There's mid. Yeah, I'm in the 16 per ring range. I'm just going to move. I'm going to move it forward a half or back a half a ring. It still keeps me in a good spot, but that was a big overpull for it. That's the thing about coming in there and trying to do a rough bump is if you don't hit it perfect, it's super easy to end up because you're hitting it on the curve, and so if you hit to the left or the right, it on the arc, it didn't go quite as far, and it's deeper rough to the left or the right because you're on this curve right here, and so that's the deal. Hit it 1 ring great to the right. And it's 1 ring great to the right. That's probably not the safest way to go at that hole. I didn't mind the drive. I have flirted with that rough bump down there, but I've had that rough bump where I've hit like in the qualifying round and in the opening round, it was great. Never had a single problem, and then bam, epic fail. And like in the same spot, hit the shot, make the adjustment, and then bam. I'm not necessarily sure I like that rough bump down there. I usually, you can, if you bring a big backspin club, you can backspin. It has a backboard, so you're going to end up close down there even if you miss it. All right, hole number 6. Let's go check out hole number 6. What is hole number 6? I'm going to play this one and then I'll stop. So that'll be like a 3-hole set, 4-hole set. Big Tapa, Kingmaker, Juniper Point. I think I know which hole this is. Hole number 5. Big Topper, Kingmaker, Sniper. I'm going to use a Titan because I don't need a Kingmaker in the practice round, but it is great to have a Kingmaker in the weekend round just because it cuts the wind down. Big Tapa. Which bag is that? That's bag number 3. And I'm going to bring all my accurate stuff. I'm either going to be a minimum Sniper or I'm going to be in maximum Grizzly. But I could get, if I get far enough up there in the right spot, I could potentially get in the mid long iron. That would be nice. It's all about the drive, though. I can't remember. I don't think you have to do anything on this drive. One of the things that's different is my Big Topper is different, so it hits like 8 or 9 yards more now. Maybe 7. I'm not sure what a level 6 hits. But I got it to level 7, so it hits 120 or 225 now. I think 225, 226, somewhere right there. It hits where the old rock used to hit. Well, actually a little bit farther. My opponent goes first. And you can also hit out to this island. And I'm always mystified why people bring their extra mile to this when you can use a quarterback pretty much any level and get out there very easily. And it's super accurate as opposed to using a 2.1 for ring accuracy club when you're trying to land on a small little fairway. If you can lay it up, lay it up. Now you might have to bring out a bigger ball. Nice shot. Nice shot, man. That's exactly where they wanted to be. Have a nice straight up shot. I don't like the little ridge that's right in front of the cup. Where is the end of the green? Got plenty of room. I'm going to take the wind out. Big Topper hits the same as my extra mile. Hitting it perfect. Trying to get out there as far as I possibly can. There's a spot out there that you can hit and it'll scoot where it hits in these little divots that are out there. It comes down and it catches one of those divots right on the downhill slope, and it'll slide. And when it slides, you'll pick up a ton of distance. And this is what I'm talking about from my opponent's trajectory. You can see right there at the very end, they have to put that side spin on because there's a ledge right here, and the green's on a flat area, and then it falls off all the way around. And so the way that they're coming in at it at the very end, you got to get your speed absolutely right, or it'll roll over the top of that hill too fast and go straight, or it'll tail off really hard to the left. You can kind of see it right there. That sand trap is a freaking magnet. There is a rough bump that you can do at the front up here. You can do a rough bump right up here, and I am not interested in that shit at all. It seems like we do a little bit of an adjustment here. So it's 3.8. 3.8 divided by 0.9. It's 4.22 rings. That's a straight up adjustment with no extra. Ah! I hit it great to the right. If I was going to hit it great one side or the other and still have a shot, it would be great to the right. Because anything you hit to the left here goes to the left because it's on that hill. Right there, close. You might have to do a little bit of an adjustment there because that was like really close. That was like a 5% adjustment. I like that big topper shot though. You can get out there almost every second of the day unless you've got an extra mile 9 and your big topper is still below 6 or below. That's the only time in its life that the extra mile can hit more. So if you bring out a Titan, you'll get more yardage on a wide open area like that with a big topper than you do with an extra mile in a Titan. All right, what hole are we on? We're on hole number 7. I'm gonna stop it here, and then I'll come back and film the last 3. I'll have to figure out how to buy one of those tabs or the entry tokens. All right, thanks for watching.